the next session, we will have with actually government representative. We have Mr. Matthew Vella here, who's a permanent secretary in the Ministry for Education, Sport, Youth, Research and Innovation. He has studied here in the University of Malta and been in the different government positions for about 7 or so years, and also has a background in social and community development. Please welcome on stage Matthew Vella. Hi. We're so happy to have you. Thank you so much for taking time to come. We have a bunch of interesting questions. As you and I had a brief conversation earlier before we started, actually, and we were talking about the kids, all the kids that have been here today. And this session is a lot about them, actually. And one of my initial questions is also that we see a lot of work being made, a lot of job opportunities by everything that Gaming Malta is doing, by all the iGaming that's happening. But from what I've heard, the Maltese workforce is still trying to catch up with this very rapidly expanding universe. What are the biggest challenges for you and your department in terms of educating the local workforce?
Good morning, Marianne. Thanks a lot for this event. I would like to welcome different experts, different persons coming from such important industry. I always like to say that when we are discussing a challenging scenario, it is the perfect atmosphere in order to create opportunities. Opportunities are the ideal investment, and in terms of education, we are working hard in order to have good citizens, different individuals that have ideal values, that have dynamic thinking, that have critical thinking. And we are integrating such concept with the aspect of the digital transformation. Today we are living in an era that we are surrounded by the aspect of digitalization, and we are promoting. Indeed, we have a specific directorate that is working on digital literacy, and in my opinion, the whole team is doing a great job in order to bring the aspect of digitalization and all different technologies, such as coding. From early years, we are utilizing the concept of coding in an embedded approach. So basically, while we are providing different teaching in different subjects, we are including the aspect of coding, for example. We are utilizing the aspect of digitalization even in areas such as literacy. So basically, by having an embedded approach, we are trying to create an integrated concept.
So this is obviously an ongoing work, yes. and also something that keeps changing a landscape all the time. How do you think Malta stands today in terms of preparing the students to be geared for all these future job opportunities that are opening?
During the last years, we invested a lot. Indeed, we introduced from a young age the aspect of having a tablet per child, having digital content. And when I'm referring to digital content, I'm not only saying that basically before we had books and now those books are translated on the device, but the aspect of having an interaction, the aspect of creating an inquiry approach, the aspect of having students more utilizing the Socratic approach, so the questioning. So basically utilizing the aspect of the digital element and digital components in order to maximize the potential of our students. We have different plans. Indeed, yesterday it was announced that a 50 million project from EU funded will commence from next scholastic year. Basically, every single student in year 7 will have a device. But it's not only the device. Together with this project, we're going to have nearly every single year 4,500 students benefiting from this device and having the transformation of education into more digital content and the aspect of continuous professional development to our educators.
Wow. I do want to get back to all these talents a little bit later on, because that sounds like a very unique investment, I would say so. My next question, I want to ask, So you're providing all these chances for all these students to grow, but how are you motivating them and encouraging them to choose the career path to actually go towards these new economic areas, as for example, gaming and esports?
Having initiatives and events such as today, it is the ideal, because our students are interested to understand clearly the aspect of the types and the different careers. So basically, exposing our students and having a more and stronger interaction between the education and the aspect of different industries. Mr. Filetti was clearly explaining before that we are not working in silos. Digital aspect is the ideal platform in order to send, even as government, that we are not working in silos, but we have one vision with one philosophy, maximizing our students' potential, helping them attain their dream, because everyone has a particular dream, and by providing such opportunities, you will allow different students to attain that potential, but at the same time, helping them to understand what opportunities exist, but it is vital that our educational system will provide them vital skills for the job that is not yet in existence. So basically, we need to provide skills, and the aspect of working with the industry, the aspect of digital is the ideal to provide opportunity for our students to maximize their potential, but at the end, to help them attain their dream.
So you mentioned earlier that there's a big investment going on in education tech. Could you tell me a little bit more about that and how widespread is it currently in Malta?
Basically, during the last years, we invested heavily in such initiatives, and now we are doing a strong evaluation exercise in order to understand what were the attained results and look for the coming 10 years. As a country, we are working in the next 10-year program for education, and doing so, we're working with the industry, we're working with different components and stakeholders in our society, because education is not owned by the education ministry. Education is owned by the nation. So basically, we would like to include everyone in such discussion, and we want to create ownership. Ownership from different stakeholders, ownership from our educators, because the next 10-year strategy will not be owned solely by the ministry, but it will be owned by different stakeholders. We would like to work jointly, and especially in the digital area, we would like to promote more. We totally believe and will work with different entities, because the aspect of finance is vital, the aspect of digital is vital, and as education ministry will help and facilitate so that our students, that are our future workforce, will be well prepared. Well prepared to face all different opportunities and challenges.
You mentioned in your answer these laptops and these tablets that you've been given, and you're currently evaluating them. I know the tablets was a few years ago that you started giving them. I think the laptops might be more recent. What are the early results in evaluation? Have you seen the ripple effects of this investment yet?
Yes, we are perceiving, and the information is that education is becoming a more interactive process. Because having a quality education, it should be translated into an experience. Before coming here, I was visiting my students, because between these 2 days, we're having around 5,000 students here coming from our schools. And when you see, when you have these students experience such technology aspect, doing coding, doing different exercises, that is the quality of education that we would like to invest. Because education is not just going to school, staying there, and receiving. it is also having the opportunity to provide. Indeed, we were listening to the fact that students are asking about what type of software programming are utilizing. It's true. When you interact with different students in our schools, they are fascinated and they are interested in order to be given small opportunities, so themselves they try to bring certain differences and use technology, even in their respective schools, in order to be a simplifying mean to attain a better quality of life in that particular school.
Mm. How is this rollout going with the education tech? Have you encountered any sort of barriers or any hindrances or any obstacles in order to get this adopted by the whole school system, get this in the curriculum, in the daily routine and all these things?
Having a strong paradigm shift always brings a number of challenges and a number of barriers. I strongly believe that by creating ownership from the initial stages, by involving different stakeholders, and by the fact that we're having an experienced educational pathway, such barriers are being removed and reduced. However, the aspect of providing necessary training and discussions with different stakeholders, especially the educator, such process is being facilitated a lot.
Mm. You mentioned the educators, so there's the very, very, very long-standing tradition of the teacher standing in front of the children with the whiteboard and teaching them stuff. How do you think the role of the teacher will change as all this new education tech is coming in?
In my opinion, the role of a teacher will evolve. It will transform itself into a mean in order to help the students to maximize their potential. However, having different digital tools will facilitate and will provide the ideal equipment and tools so that the different students, that different research helps us to understand that different students learn in different ways. Such digital tools are ideal in order to help the educator to assist the student to maximize his or her potential. So basically, the role of educator will remain central, will provide, and will, as a ministry, assist, so there is continuous professional development. However, the aspect of learning will evolve, and I strongly believe that the educator will be the key stakeholder in such transformation.
Those were all my questions. It sounds like the government is a very thought-out strategic plan for this rollout, and I'm happy to hear that everything is going well. I would like to thank you, Mr. Vella, for coming. Please give an applause as well.